the Smash calendar is a very interesting topic because a lot of people, whenever there's a sense of conflict, or just for the fact that um, or just for the fact that February, March, and April have been very dry, and we've seen two recent conflicts with regards to Smash and Splash and DreamHack, and also I believe the ESA event and what's Full Bloom. There's been a lot of conflicts, so a lot of people are wondering, like, hey, like, why don't we have a Smash calendar that's transparent? And we did discuss this on the Commentator's Curse, but I wanted to give a shortened video just in case you don't want to rummage through the 2 hours. So last year, I was a part of the calendar, and I saw a lot of issues with the calendar too that that came up. So I want to talk about what transparency would fix and what it wouldn't fix. So first off, it would be really cool, being that I'm Mango's coach, to be able to schedule and coordinate with Cloud9 and go, okay, in February we have this, and in March we have this. Or at the very notion to know that there are no tournaments coming up. I think it would be nice if somebody physically told me, hey, there are no tournaments in February. And then I can tell Mango, hey, you know, for the month of February, you can stream your Mario Party, you can stream this. We want to preserve your passion for Smash this year. So don't worry about February. And in March, there's some events. We will ramp up into March and start playing Melee again. Because playing Melee, I think the big thing here is that not knowing hurts us a lot, because we don't know, because playing Melee like year round, not knowing when the next event is, and then all of a sudden having something pop up is not really fun. Like, you don't want to be playing Melee year round, even if you're like a pro player. Like, you want to have breaks, and you don't want to be like, okay, like I have to ramp up and grind because I don't know whether or not there's a random tournament that will pop up in the next couple of weeks. So that's one aspect that would help. But there are many things that I think a lot of people think that the Smash calendar being public would help, but in reality it wouldn't. So for a lot of events that go like, okay, like, you know, if we had the Smash calendar, we would know so much more about events and what to plan around. But if a Smash event was willing to go public and say, we are going to have a tournament in March or April, then they would have announced it publicly. So if there's an event that needs to have transparency and should be going public, chances are would have already been going public. And so with the Smash calendar, what kind of happens is it's an incubator, meaning that we have events that are interested in reserving a date, and so, but they're not ready to announce yet. Being a part of Yahoo, there are many reasons why you can lock in a date, but you can't publicly announce, and it's because you can't. You can reserve the date and just say like, I want this date, but we can't announce yet. And working with Yahoo, there were very valid reasons why I couldn't announce the date publicly. Nintendo contracts weren't signed, and we had to do a bunch of things, and Yahoo had to give the okay. But we want to put that date in just so that we can go like, hey, like, we're very interested in this date, but it's pending a few things, but we can't legally make an announcement until those documents are signed. So that's like an example where I could put it on the calendar, on the Smash calendar, but I can't reveal it to the public. So putting it in public view for those type of events would not be bueno for me. I would be in legal trouble for doing that. And I'm not saying all tournaments are like that on the Smash calendar that haven't been revealed, but there's probably a good chunk that go like, okay, I'm talking to a venue, I want to reserve this date. I haven't fully got the contracts or the finances yet, but I want to lock in for this date. But they can't announce it, and you don't want people to buy flights and to plan around this if things are tentative, because what if you... One thing a lot of people don't realize about the Smash calendar last year was that a lot of things shuffled dates, a lot of things canceled. So what would happen is, like, if we made this public also, what if people bought flights? They found a good deal for this weekend to go to Indiana, and then the TO's like, whoops, it turns out we got to change the date, and then you bought a non-refundable ticket. I think a lot of people don't realize like how tentative and how many events drop in the last like moments of the Smash calendar. So that's making things public in light of that. Also, kind of, it's not the utopia that you want. Now, with that being said, there are some things that that aren't fixable, even if the Smash calendar was transparent. DreamHack, just to kind of recap the event, Smash and Splash booked their venue. They announced early. I don't know the full timeline, and then DreamHack somewhere down the road announced their event. I think the one thing that we don't really realize as Smashers is that we're not the only esport. DreamHack doesn't go like, okay, like, let's look at Smash, even though we also like, let's schedule everything around Smash and not consider the fact that we run Counter-Strike and a bunch of other esports competitions and other gaming competitions. Like, DreamHack will run DreamHack independent of Smash. So like the conflict there is DreamHack just gonna keep their dates regardless of whether or not there's a Smash event. Last year, DreamHack Montreal and I believe SmashCon, or like a year or two ago, conflicted the same way. So that's like a conflict that was unavoidable. The ESA one, even if the recent ESA one, even if people knew about the Smash calendar, that was also just blind negligence, because ESA changed their date to Full Bloom's date, even though Full Bloom already announced their thing. So ESA had full knowledge of the Smash calendar, or like at least that there was going to be a tournament that event, and so a Magic Smash calendar was not going to fix that. Now, with that being said, there are events that unfairly got overbooked or double booked, and those are, I think, an abuse of power. I think if there's anything that could be done, I believe Blood for Blood and Smash Camp, and I believe there's like Too Hot to Handle. There are certain things that are just unavoidable, but I believe that there needs to be some sort of accountability. That I don't know what the system is or the ramifications we can do, and that's something I'm trying to figure out, because there's no other than like public scrutiny and public scorning or shaming. A TO can look at the calendar if it was public to everybody and see, oh, this tournament's running an event that date. Well, I don't really care about them, and I have more money than them, so I'm going to run a tournament, and I don't really care about them, and I'm going to offer a big prize pot. And you literally have no defense against that as a small TO. That's like something that you're going to have to... There are certain issues like that that are just unavoidable. So I guess where I'm kind of going with this is that many of the issues that we think would magically be fixed with the Smash calendar aren't going to be fixed with a public Smash calendar. Events, I think what could help is if the TOs announce earlier that their events are happening. So I think what they have to do is go from incubation phase to announcing their tournament publicly a lot sooner rather than later, and get to that point where they can say to the public, hey, we're running this tournament in this state on this date, you can sign up. And why a lot of tournaments don't get to that spot, and I bring up the Yahoo example, and because I am no longer working for Yahoo, if you ever see a public event that is backed by big corporations or companies, and you kind of wonder why Smash got announced in the last 2 weeks, and you're wondering why did they announce so late in the game, I'll tell you a little bit of something. I'll tell you a little tactful secret here. It's because of Nintendo. It's chances are, if you see a PAX or if you see an event that goes like bam, 1 week before it they announce it, and you're wondering like why the hell wasn't this announced sooner, I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's probably that Nintendo contract and getting that signed. You didn't hear that from me, but usually that's the case. So hopefully, if events can go public, I think they should sooner rather than later. And having a more coordinated public-facing calendar would be great. But a Smash calendar that tells you everything that's in incubation or that's unsure of what's going on, that level of transparency is honestly would hurt more than help the community. But I do agree we do need more transparency on this.